Hey guys, this video will cover question number 4 and maybe a little bit of number 5 on the homework assignment Venn diagrams, which was your homework from today, April 20th, 2015. And for C block students, the assignment is due tomorrow, Tuesday the 21st. For A and B block, the assignment will be due Wednesday, 4/22. Okay, so let's look at number 4. Let's read it together first, and then we'll go through the process of solving this one. Okay, so it says the probability that Patrick Henry could experience liberty or death is 0.8. The probability that he could experience an extremely confined death is 0.2. The probability that he could experience a liberated life is 0.6. So I think it would be helpful to actually set up a Venn diagram before we actually answer the first bullet question, which is what is the probability that Patrick Henry could die a free man? Okay, so let's set up the Venn diagram. Here we have liberty, okay, and death, and the two are not like completely what we call mutually exclusive. In other words, there is going to be an overlap region because that's what we're being asked to find on that first bullet point. We're asked to find the probability that he will die a free man. So in other words, the overlap of both of these sets. So that's why I put a question mark here. Now, notice that they give us some information. The first sentence says the probability that he will experience life or death is 0.8. So in other words, these two bubbles right here, well, this side and this side, not including the overlap, have to add up to 0.8 because it's an or. It's this or this, but not both, okay? One or the other. So that has to add up to 0.8. We're also told that the probability that he can experience an extremely confined death. So in other words, death without liberation, okay, is 0.2. And that's exactly why I've labeled the 0.2 here, because that's just this bubble without liberty. And likewise, the probability that he could experience a liberated life is 0.6. So in other words, just liberation without death is 0.6. And if you notice, these two add up to 0.8, so we're in good shape. Okay. Now we're being asked to find this middle region right here, and we have to ask ourselves the question, what do all of these regions have to add up to? And if you're probability savvy, you know that they have to add up to 1 because that would make 100%. So, and there can be no other regions. Like there can be no region outside of these three because these are our only three situations that are given to us in the problem. He can either die a liberated, or he can either live a liberated life, he can die with liberty, or he can just die without liberty. And that's what we have, 3 regions. So what has to be the leftover from these two? Well, 0.2 plus 0.6 is 0.8. And that would mean that this region has to be 0.2 or 20% because that would make up 100% if we add it. So the question to number 1, in other words, that he's going to, the probability that he will die and be liberated is 0.2. So notice the way I wrote that as P, probability of, this is a D, intersect, because it's an and statement, with liberty, which is this region right up here, the overlapping region, has to be 0.2. And I'll also write it in the Venn diagram. Okay, so I think that answers that question. One quick word, and I don't think there's any, there's no other parts to that. So one quick word on the Coke, Pepsi, Red Bull question, which is the very last. Notice the very first piece of information that you're given. You're told that 55% of teens drink Coke. Okay? Now, what that does not mean is that 55% of teens only drink Coke. It does not say that. So we have to be very, very careful with the wording. And we have to know, like if this is my Coke region, right here, we have to know that 55%, oh, and let me label the other regions as well. I'll call this Pepsi, and then the one on the bottom, Red Bull. For this Coke bubble right here, or this Coke set, all of these regions would add up to 55, not just this region. So what we can't do is just call this region up here 55, because that's not what is given to us, okay? So hopefully that will be enough information for you to solve this one, and the others should go a little bit, should be a little bit easier, and we'll see you guys in class a little bit later. Thank you.